Alright, how's it going, Midnight Strikers? I am Midnight Strike 3625, and I am here with my good friend, Chaotic Spider. We're going to review the new Lacuna Coil album for you that leaked just a few days ago. And please excuse me if I slip up on my words. This is, in fact, live, so please don't hold anything against me. This is the only take I am going to have, so it's a little bit more off the collar than usual. I can't exactly just sit here and go on about different things. Okay, so 11 tracks of gothic metal, and this is the first album we've heard from Lacuna Coil since 2012's Dark Adrenaline, which to this day remains my favorite Lacuna Coil album of all time. Does this one match up? Well, stick around to hear our opinions on it. So I'm going to let you start, Chaotic, and what do you think of the first track, Nothing Stands in Our Way?
Well, I'll listen to it first again. Because
Okay.
I really like that song.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a straightforward song. I mean, it had a
Yeah.
lot of different guitar variation in it, but it was more straightforward, repeating the same kind of thing over and over again. But it had the sort of eerie production value that Lacuna
Yeah.
Coil is sort of known for back in their heyday, back in the early days. So that's what I think of it. But don't really want to get flagged for copyright. So, anyways, the second song, Zombies, kind of felt the same way. It was kind of like really repetitive and kind of dragged on for a little while. Just that's a really prevalent thing in this album is a lot of the songs tend to drag on or feel like they don't really have that much energy to them. And only two songs really stood out to me. Nothing Stands in Our Way, which is the beginning, which I just said, it is very straightforward, but it's one of my favorite songs along with Infection. Infection is pretty much up there as probably the best song on the album, in my opinion. The weakest link would probably be the last track, in my opinion, and that is One Cold Day. So,
Yeah, that
yeah,
that song was no really depressing. That
yeah. It was really slow and kind of boring to listen to. Didn't really have that eerie production of, say, Half-Life, but I don't know. It is what it is, I suppose. It wasn't really that good of a closer, in my opinion. So,
well,
so overall, though, it's like there was one song where Christina Scabia, the lead singer, it sounds like she's not necessarily rapping, but she's talk singing. I don't want to necessarily say rapping, but it sounds pretty similar to rapping, and it doesn't really sound weird. She sounds a little bit off key or off pitch, and that kind of drug the attention away from what the kind of sound that the band was trying to create with that song. I forget what the name was. I think it was Cyber Sleep or I Burn in You, but then again, I mean, it could be any one of those. So, anyways, for Hostage to the Light, I actually kind of liked it, but again, it was more repetitive. Die and Rise and I Forgive But I Won't Forget Your Name, those were the two singles, and kind of the same story as Nothing Stands in Her Way. Chaotic, did you like those ones then? Die and
uh, Dying Rise, I thought it was all right. But I forgive, but I don't. But I remember names.
Rise? I Forgive But I Won't Forget Your Name.
Yeah, that I don't like so much.
Yeah. It kind of
It felt a
stagnated
little
on
awkward.
for a little bit, but when it came down to it, it actually had a nice little catchy rhythm, in my opinion. And Christina's vocals are really good as always. I mean, it's Christina Scabia. She's top-notch singer, in my opinion. So Christina
Yeah.
Scabia up here, Amy Lee down here, in my opinion. Don't shoot me. So that's just my opinion. I like Christina's vocals a lot better. I think she can do a lot more with her voice. So that's just me. It's always good to hear some new Lacuna Coil material, and although I like Dark Adrenaline a little bit better, this is still a pretty decent effort by Lacuna Coil. I'm not going to say it's worse than, say, Shallow Life, which to many fans is their worst album, but this is going to get probably a 7 out of 10 for me. It's kind of just average. Borderline 6, but I'll probably give it a little leeway since it does have two very good songs on it, and a few standout tracks in addition to that. So That's my final rating is a 7 out of 10. So, what do you think?
I don't know, since I'm not too much into goth metal, I'd just give it about a 5.5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, especially for if it's your first exposure to the band. I mean, maybe later after the stream, I'll have to show you some of the stuff by Lacuna Coil in their early days, because that's really good. It even had some screaming in it. So, there's Andrea Farrow, I believe that's what his name is. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, please correct me in the comments section. But he is, in addition to Christina Scavia, his vocals actually contrast and complement Christina's vocals quite well on the majority of Lacuna Coil's tracks. So that's just my opinion. Just having a guy and a girl vocalist is something really unique, and it hasn't really been seen before in especially gothic metal. So that's part of the standout and part of the kind of finesse of Lacuna Coil, in my opinion. So,
I don't, I do like listening to the album though.
yeah, it was a good listen. So, have you heard the song Spellbound by Lacuna Coil at all?
I am not sure.
Okay. I'll have to show you that one too. I mean, if you're new to this band, you'll definitely want to start out with something a little bit older, especially maybe like R Truth, Karma Code, something off there. And that's kind of the stepping stone into Dark Adrenaline and into kind of their earlier material as well. Because a lot of their early material is really dark, and like I said, it's got a lot of screaming and stuff in it. So, or at least death growls a little bit, not too much to the point where it's like all the time, but it's perfect for the ambience, the environment. I don't know, the just the tone, the atmosphere of the songs. So kind of brings that back a little bit. So your final rating is a 5.5 out of 10 then?
My rating might change if I listened to them a little more, but yeah,
Yeah, kind of like a first impression basis.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, mine's a 7 out of 10 just because I feel like if I give it more of a chance, it'll grow on me. I mean, I feel like this is something that would grow on me in the future, but as of right now, it's a little bit on the disappointing side. I mean, Shallow Life is easily a 5 or a 6 for me. I mean, I don't really like Shallow Life that much. While I love the song Spellbound, in fact, that was the first song I heard and it got me into the band, the rest of the album kind of falls flat on its face. So,
Yeah.
in that regard. So this is the first ever stream review that I've done, and it's live, so no mistakes. And if I made a mistake, then I'm sorry. I'm not gonna redo it, especially if it's live. So Chaotic Spider, unfortunately, he is coming. Well, not unfortunately. Fortunately, he is coming to my house. Unfortunately, he's coming to my house. We're gonna
Unfortunately.
go. We're gonna go see Trivium on April 1st, and no, that is not an April Fool's Day joke. So for all those who are wondering, I'm actually going to my first concert, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic.
Yep, and
So
I'm making videos on my camera right here.
exactly. So basically, we couldn't, do a face cam on one camera because, other people will be in the room or other people will be over in the house. So we can't really find time to do that, especially if, there's going to be people here. We're not just going to tell them, hey, stay out of the room,
Yeah, but
So,
we can do a review together because of my game capture card.
yeah, we could do that too. That'd be pretty sweet, especially if you want to do a review of Diablo 2, like you said.
Diablo 2, what
3.
the?
Diablo 3. Whoops. Like I said, no mistakes, whatever,
You're a little
But,
late on that now.
but yeah, so let us know in the comment section below what you think about this whole live stream reviewing process, or what you feel about me doing collaborations. And if it gets a warm to positive reception, I might do them again in the future. Hell, I might even have some guests on here. So with that, this is Midnight Strike 3625 and Chaotic Spider. Keep calm and rock on, guys.